Vision! Today we're going to open up with the results of Dancing with the Stars.
In the recent Dancing with the Stars championship, Hines Ward beat Christiali and he walked away with the Mirror Ball trophy.
As a Steelers fan, I'm excited about it. Not quite the equivalent of a Super Bowl trophy, but, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So, in order to win the dancing title, I'm thinking that his quick feet from being a seasoned football player has something to do with it.
Hines Ward's never really been a dancer before this. He even said at the end of the show that he didn't even go to his senior prom because he was too afraid to dance. But in just a short amount of time, there you go. Now he's the new dancing champion.
Oh yeah, and everyone was surprised that he didn't pretty much break his dance partner because she admitted there have been several close calls that he almost like crushed her. Even though it's a weird combination, he said he's going to put the Super Bowl trophy right next to his new Mirror Ball trophy. Dancing with the Stars isn't the only show that's over. We're now saying goodbye to Oprah.
So the Oprah show has been running for 25 seasons, and now finally on May 25th, the very last episode of it ever was aired.
The show was alright. I mean, Oprah's a really awesome person and everything, but the show kind of got old after a while with her just basically just showing off all her money and buying everybody a new car in the audience and stuff like that.
So it was one of the longest running daytime talk shows on TV, and a lot of people are going to miss it. I really don't care too much, necessarily. So, on to a more sad story. WWE legend Randy Savage has passed away recently.
So Macho Man had a heart attack while he was behind the wheel of a vehicle in Florida, and sadly that caused him to crash the car.
His wife was also with him, but she just had minor injuries. Unfortunately, he did not make it out quite as lucky.
Besides the heart attack, he was still in pretty good shape for being 58 years old.
I expect everybody now to snap into a Slim Jim at least one more time just for the Macho Man. And now for some quick updates on last week's stories. So last week we told you about how Lindsay Lohan was in court. She was getting in trouble again for drinking or drug abuse, everything like that. Now she's on house arrest. So she's going to be kept away from the public for a while, thankfully.
Good. She's a hoe. Here we go, guys. You know what's coming. Arnold! So, Arnold, basically the day after we filmed the last Blog Vision, the truth came out about Arnold, and his wife left him because he had a kid with some Mexican, kind of unattractive housekeeper that lived at his house. The lady kept quiet all these years, and just a week before Arnold announced it, she still denied it. I don't know what was going on, if Arnold was paying her off, but after the incident, Arnold said he would put his movie career in the future on hold for right now because he's like ashamed, and still people, like women, are coming forward saying that Arnold has been with them too. I'm really not surprised. I mean, he's pulling a Tiger Woods, but it's Arnold. I don't care. He's still my hero.
He's still the man.
Yahoo!
So, probably the biggest story from E3 in 2010 was just released a few months ago. The Nintendo 3DS. I did get my hands on one finally, so we're going to review that for you today.
In my opinion, the system was released months way too early. The eShop has yet to be released, and all of the launch titles are basically shovelware from Nintendo. They aren't very good at all. I mean, people are wondering where's the meat here, where's Ocarina of Time, Star Fox, Paper Mario, the new Mario platformer, Kid Icarus. Where's all this stuff we were promised? But it is coming. They have set dates in the future, and really until they come out, I'm not going to buy one because there's no point, because it's basically a paperweight for right now. But it will be awesome in the future.
The main reason a lot of people are going to buy this system is for Ocarina of Time. Whenever it comes out, it was announced. I don't think they said anything about it at E3 last year, but they did have it on display for a lot of people to see who were there.
Yeah.
It's the main game everyone was looking forward to. Obviously, one of the best games of all time in most people's opinion. They did a lot of work to it, whether you want to call it a remake, whether you want to call it a port. I know everyone has their different opinions. To me, it's a remake. They did a lot more to it. The graphics are much more impressive. The frame rate is much higher. One of the main new features of Ocarina of Time is the boss rush mode, where you can battle each boss in the game. It will save your times, so you can try to get a better score each time. Pretty cool new feature.
Even though the launch titles are terribly disappointing, the game system already comes with something that's awesome. right here we got AR cards, augmented reality. You open up the AR games in the DS, and the cards look like this. Now the DS has a camera in it. You put one of these cards on the table and shoot it with the camera, and whatever is on the card will appear on the table like it's there in real life, which is really cool, and you can play around with it, and there's games.
So as you can see, something kind of appears on the table from the card. Pretty cool extra feature. It looks like it's actually showing up in real life on top of your table. With this card here, just the standard one, you can play different games, such as the archery game, which is the standard game it comes with automatically. Pretty much just you aim it at the targets that pop up. Wait until the game actually starts. As you can see, you can actually move around the entire card, move around the whole table in order to aim your different shots. You can look down in this hole. It's kind of, you can't see it in the camera, but with the actual game, the hole looks a lot cooler since it's actually in the 3D. You can see the depth of the hole that's there, etc., 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 etc. Now, obviously, the main feature of the 3DS is right in the title. It's the 3D. Now, if you're going to be getting the system, don't expect it to pop out at you like you would imagine a 3D movie or TV show or something like that would do. It's depth. It will go in. So say there's a hole in the screen, you'll be able to see down that hole rather than something popping out at your face. It is impressive. The 3D does look very good for not needing glasses. First thing that I know of that has 3D, that you don't need anything, any kind of headwear or glasses or something to wear. It does look impressive.
On the other hand, the 3D kind of bugs a lot of people. Now, I never have played a 3DS before. I don't have one, as you know, but Jordan just got his, and I looked at it, and within 30 seconds, I already had a headache, and it's the same story with everybody else. Everyone gets headaches, and children under the age of 5 or something like that aren't even supposed to look at it, or their eyes will be all screwed up. Now, fortunately, if you don't like the 3D feature, sort of like I do, I mean, I might turn it on, but there's a slider switch on the side of the 3DS, and if you don't like the 3D, you can just turn it off, or if you like kind of some of the 3D, you can just turn it up to like a quarter of the way, halfway, or the whole way if you want to experience the full thing. But for me, I'll probably be playing with it off.
As for the power of the system, it is the most powerful handheld that's ever been released. Obviously, it's a big step above your normal DS, your Game Boys, everything like that.
Definitely.
Obviously, don't get it expecting to see some PS3, Xbox 360 graphics. It's not going to be as powerful as a console. As far as a handheld goes, though, it's very, very impressive, especially as far as the frame rate.
The regular Nintendo DS was basically a Nintendo 64 on a handheld. The 3DS is basically a handheld version of a GameCube with 3D.
Some other extra cool features of the 3DS, it has the camera, of course, in the front and back. You can take pictures, view your pictures in 3D. They're supposed to have apps such as Netflix come out for it, so you can watch your movies in 3D. The eShop will come out eventually. It's going to have, I believe, old Game Boy Color games, maybe. I don't know if it's going to have NES, maybe a few other older Nintendo games you can play with the 3D. So it's going to have your old games, but have a little bit of extra added onto them. As far as ratings, we'll start with the system itself. It is very nice, of course, with the 2 screens and the touchscreen. The 3D. First DS that has the analog stick, which is really nice. Like I said, good frame rate. The graphics are pretty good for a handheld. As far as a negative for the system, the one main thing that everyone seems to not like is the battery life. It only lasts about 3, maybe 4 hours if you're lucky. They do sell accessories to extend the battery life, but who really wants to spend the extra money for that when it could just come with the system automatically? Really the only con I can really see about the whole system. Overall for the system, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
My rating for the system itself is a 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid system, good graphics, great games in the future, not now. 3D messes with your head a little bit, but it's okay. The cons, like Jordan said, the battery life is just terrible. Just a couple of hours with the 3D on, maybe 6 hours if you turn the 3D off completely, but a DS Lite can last like 2 days. Another con I have is the price. It's currently selling for $250 US. keep in mind, that is the price that they launched the Wii at, an actual console. So this is just as expensive as the last Nintendo console to be released.
As far as games, I'm going to split it up into two spots. As far as the games now, couldn't say more than maybe a 3 out of 10. There was not much of anything that launched with it that I found myself wanting to play. Like I said, I have Ghost Recon. That's about the only game I found even kind of interesting to play until the better ones come out. As far as in the future, I wouldn't have a problem saying maybe 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. They have, of course, the best game of all time, in many people's opinion, coming out for it, remastered. Definitely the top game I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely going to get Star Fox, Kid Icarus, Mario Kart. So they're definitely having some good stuff coming out, just not quite here yet.
My opinion for games for right now, 2. 2 out of 10. I mean, they've had some alright games, like puzzle games such as Bust a Move, and the continuing of other franchises, but it's just not worth it. It's awful. Later, amazing games. I cannot wait to play the new Paper Mario, the new Mario Kart, the new Mario platform game, Ocarina of Time, which is the best game ever. In the future, I would probably rate it 9 or 9.5 out of 10.
As for the 3D effect, it is impressive for such a small system. It's very impressive for not needing to wear glasses. Some people may be disappointed that doesn't pop out at you like a movie or something would, but of course you have to think you're not wearing those glasses to make that happen. So it is impressive for what it's offering. I would give it a 7 out of 10. It's not extremely far in depth, but it's definitely there. You can definitely see it. The bad part about it is it does cause a lot of eye strain. It can make your eyes hurt. They say you're supposed to play it for maybe an hour to take maybe a 15-minute break, but who really wants to do that? It's probably the only bad part about it.
As far as 3D goes for me, the 3D effect totally gives me a headache, and I strain to even call it 3D at all. It's just basically changing the way you look at something or perceive something, and it just changes the reality. It doesn't pop out at you, that's 3D. It just changes how you look at it. And another problem I have is you have to hold it in the exact perfect spot in front of your face. If you tilt it or move it at all, the 3D effect goes fuzzy and you can't make it out. If I had to rate the 3D, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10.
As far as the system's built-in features, obviously the thing I find coolest is the AR games that we already showed you. I've never seen anything else that can do something like that. It's kind of cool to see something popping out of maybe your table or your desk or something. It has a good camera. It's not obviously the camera you're going to see in a store or you can take pictures with everywhere, but it is cool that you can view your pictures in 3D. Overall, maybe for the AR games alone, I would say a 7 out of 10. It's definitely something that can keep you entertained until the better games come out. I'm still waiting for the eShop and the internet browser. I believe it's supposed to be June 9th, 2011, I think it comes out. So that will definitely upgrade it for me, maybe 8 or a 9.
As far as the preloaded system features for me, like Jordan said, the AR cards are magnificent. They're fun, and it's just funny to see that your reality is becoming the video game. Before, you played video games to get away from reality, but the AR cards and preloaded games such as Face Raiders incorporate your surroundings into the video game, mixing what people thought could not be mixed, video games and real life. Considering all that, I would have to give the preloaded features on the system probably like an 8 out of 10. It's awesome.
For an overall rating, it's very impressive for a handheld system. First thing I've ever seen that can do the things it does. I definitely like the camera, the AR cards, the future games that are coming out. The games aren't so great now, but it does have good features. It's a powerful system for a handheld. Overall, right now I'm going to say 7 out of 10. If you ask me in a few days after Ocarina of Time comes out, I'll probably say 8 out of 10.
As for the overall total, I would have to consider the games out now, of course, which is nothing. And the system features just aren't enough to keep someone entertained. But as of right now, I'd give the system probably like a 4, 5, or 6 out of 10. But once Ocarina of Time comes out, it's probably going to be a 10 out of 10 just because Ocarina of Time is awesome.
So, As for our question of the day, will you be buying a 3DS? I'm sure you've heard reviews from us, obviously, from other websites, or even if you already have one.
You've just been blog advised.
By Jordan
And Clark. Because this is Vlogavision!